Loving, kind, sweetest person you would ever want to know. She would give you her last. She was always happy. She was always smiling. She just was a joyful person.
We just checked, and New Orleans police tell us that they are still looking for the gunman who killed a man and a woman in New Orleans East overnight. We're told both died on scene. Investigators have not released their names. If you know anything that can help them find their killer, you're asked to call Crime Stop.
"17-year-old Tynarvia Rogers, affectionately known as Tuzi to family and friends, was not only beautiful, but also an incredibly ambitious young woman. Like many teenagers, she loved listening to music, dancing, and sharing her life on TikTok. Known for her warm and generous spirit, she was always ready to lend a hand to those in need. Tynarvia shared a close bond with her mother, and there was rarely anything she kept from her. As a graduating senior at Walter L. Cohen High School, she looked forward to her graduation in May and the exciting new chapter of college on the horizon. However, no one could predict the unexpected series of events that would dramatically change the course of her life. Just after 1 in the morning on October 30th, NOPD responded to the block of Lane Avenue in the Plum Orchard neighborhood of New Orleans East for reports of a shooting. Upon arrival to the scene, they would find an unresponsive teenage girl and a young adult male.
We're learning about a deadly shooting that left a man and woman dead. New Orleans police say it happened near the corner of Lane Avenue and Lled Streets near Crowder Boulevard. That happened around 1 this morning. There's no word yet on what led up to the shooting. We're going to take a live look now so you can see the scene. As you see, police still there on the scene, still investigating this shooting. Again, a woman and man dead after the shooting. We're working to learn more information.
The victims were identified as 17-year-old Tynarvia Rogers and her friend, 20-year-old Jordan Chavez, both tragically pronounced dead at the scene from gunshot wounds. Police initially investigated the killing as an aggravated battery incident, but it was reclassified as a double homicide after further investigation. Tynarvia's mother was left heartbroken and bewildered. According to her, Tynarvia had told her she was spending the night at a friend's house to accompany her to court the next day. She just wanted to support a friend. So what transpired between Tynarvia's arrival at the house and the moment she and her friend were shot? Why is no one coming forward with information? And where is the friend whose house was the site of this tragedy? So many questions remain unanswered. In fact, Tynarvia's mother learned of her daughter's death through a social media message from someone informing her that her baby girl was gone. She had never received a call from the police. She had to go to the coroner's office herself to confirm the heartbreaking reality that her baby girl was truly gone. Family and friends gathered for a candlelight vigil to celebrate the life of a young girl who touched the hearts of so many. Instead of anticipating Tynarvia's accomplishments and graduation ceremony in May, they now find themselves preparing for her funeral.
Family members say Tynarvia Rogers and her 20-year-old friend Jordan Chavez were both shot and killed at a home along Lane Avenue in New Orleans East last Wednesday. That vigil you can see right here taking place earlier today in Marrero, where the 17-year-old lived. Family say Rogers was a senior and an honors student at Walter L. Cohen High School. Her mom says it is hard to comprehend what happened. She told her daughter that she could stay at a friend's house overnight. And also, she says she was never notified by officials that her daughter was killed. She says she found out through social media before going to the coroner to have it confirmed.
I sensed it when the little girl on Instagram wrote me and asked me was my child at home, and I told her no, that she slept out by a certain friend house. And she is like, well, people saying your baby dead. I just don't understand. I just want answers. And whoever did this, if y'all know who did it, speak up. She's a child.
a lot of people here to pay tribute to Narvia Rogers. I actually just spoke with her grandmother, who is still visibly shaken up by what happened. The entire family. New Orleans police say Rogers and 20-year-old Jordan Chavez were both found suffering from gunshot wounds inside of a home along Lane Avenue Wednesday. We're told both were pronounced dead on scene. At this time, we do not know a motive or who was responsible for the shooting, but those who knew Rogers say she was an amazing honor student at her school and was always in good spirits. Here's a word from her grandmother.
Loving, kind, sweetest person you would ever want to know. She would give you her last. She was always happy. She was always smiling. She just was a joyful person.
The tragic loss of Tarnarvia and Jordan serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of community support in times of crisis. It underscores the need for open communication and trust among friends, as well as the vital role that bystanders can play in seeking justice. This heartbreaking story calls for increased awareness around gun violence and its devastating impact on families and communities. Ultimately, it highlights the necessity for dialogue and action to ensure that no parent has to endure the pain of losing a child in such senseless circumstances. Rest in peace to both victims.